Hey guys, it's me Kevin and welcome to round 22 of the AFL season. I'll be tipping that round right now. So to start off the round, we head to the MCG on a Friday night where Richmond play Essendon. I'm tipping Richmond, obviously. Well, they finally won on the road and they haven't lost at the MCG or Melbourne, in fact, this year. So Richmond it is, obviously. I mean, Essendon are playing okay, but Richmond in Melbourne, you'd expect Richmond to win. Saturday afternoon at the MCG as well, Collingwood versus Port Adelaide. Collingwood I'm tipping because Port Adelaide, their last 2 weeks, they can't even hold on a lead. Well, I'm glad they didn't hold it on last week. I think you know why. But seriously, Port Adelaide can't hold on a lead, and it's at the MCG, Collingwood's home, so you'd expect Collingwood to win at their home ground. Saturday afternoon at GMHBA Stadium, Geelong versus Fremantle. Well, I'm going to be tipping Geelong because Fremantle, I know they won last week, but it's at Geelong's home ground. They play really well over at GMHBA Stadium. Fremantle, well, it was against Collingwood last week, so you expect them to win that. But to be honest with you, Geelong at GMHBA, Geelong should win. Saturday twilight, I'm going a bit fast, but the Sydney Showdown, or whatever you call it. GWS versus Sydney at Spotless Stadium. GWS, mainly because it's at Spotless, they've had a pretty good run in the past few weeks in terms of winning, not injuries, winning. Sydney, well, yeah, their wins haven't been by much, and they've been to good to okay sides, not like I don't know, I just have that feeling GWS will win. Saturday night, Metricon Stadium, it was the Sydney Derby. Anyway, so Saturday night at Metricon Stadium, the Q Clash, Brisbane versus Gold Coast versus Brisbane at Metricon. I'm tipping Brisbane because Gold Coast, they haven't won at Metricon this year, and since round 5, they've only beaten Sydney. Brisbane, they had a stretch of good wins a few weeks back, but you'd expect Brisbane just to defeat Gold Coast. Just get one last win out of the season. Otherwise, they would have had a worse season than they did last year, even though they ended up higher. Also on Saturday night at Etihad, it's St Kilda versus Hawthorn. I'm going to be tipping Hawthorn. St Kilda, one of the biggest disappointments of the year, along with Fremantle. Hawthorn, they're in the top 4 at the moment, and if they win this, then I think that means they've secured their top 4 spot. So, Hawthorn it is. Early Sunday, Etihad, Carlton versus Western Bulldogs. Well, I'm going to be tipping the Bulldogs because they won for the last 2 weeks. And one of those teams was to North Melbourne. And Carlton haven't been playing all that well this year, so you'd expect you'd expect the Bulldogs to win. Sunday afternoon at Optus Stadium, West Coast versus Melbourne. I'm going to be tipping West Coast. Melbourne, they lost to Sydney last week, and West Coast, geez, that mindset to never give up until that siren went. Like, down by 28 points, 8 goals down with a minute to go, they still somehow won. They didn't spend any of regulation time in front, by the way. It was only after the siren. So, if West Coast keep that mindset where they don't give up until that final siren goes, then West Coast should win it. And Sunday twilight, Adelaide Oval, Adelaide versus North Melbourne. North Melbourne couldn't even beat Bulldogs, and they almost threw it away against Brisbane. Adelaide, well, they can be good, and then they can be bad, just that trend. But I do think Adelaide will defeat North Melbourne in Adelaide. So, to recap my tips, I am tipping Richmond, Collingwood, Geelong, GWS, Brisbane, Hawthorn, Western Bulldogs, West Coast and Adelaide. I hope that helped you with the tipping, and I'll see you next week. Bye.